See
Can
if
you
I
hear
can
me?
get it all the way up too. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Michaela, for joining. I said that we haven't done this in a while, so it's definitely time that we get back into it. And I had so much fun with yours the first time. So I figured for some of the newer people on my page, it would be helpful to understand kind of where we came from, what we've learned, and just basically how we started to love SeneGence. So I figured I'll tell my really quick story, and then maybe you can tell yours, because we have some awesome other content that we would like to explain. So where I first started was Miss Michaela. She started as a distributor. She's a good friend of mine for many, many years. And another friend of ours, Amy Parker, started with SeneGence. And there was this skincare class that Michaela had invited her to. And they said, you know, you should join, just try it. We send you a bunch of samples, and what could go wrong? It's free. Let's try it. So I did. I have very, very sensitive skin. I hated the way my makeup looked because it was cakey. I had lines everywhere. You could see all the lines and wrinkles. So I was really feeling super self-conscious. So I hated wearing makeup. So Michaela sent me this beautiful care package. I went to the skincare school and absolutely loved the products. I got to learn about the products, and it was just something completely different than I've ever experienced. So then Michaela got me hooked on pretty much everything. I wanted to buy everything, so then I decided to become a distributor. So I'll let Michaela kind of talk about her story as far as how she found SeneGence, because she kind of started it all with all of our friends.
Yeah.
So I'll pass it over to you, Michaela.
Well, first, Katie, you look amazing. I am so sorry. I've
No,
not gotten ready for this.
great.
No, but like in all honesty, I'm in my pajamas. But that kind of looks like a fun shirt, but it's really my pajamas. How I started. So my girlfriends and I would talk about this for like 3 years of how we were going to take a day off of work and not tell anybody about it. So I decided to bite the bullet and do it on my birthday because I felt like I had a free pass. And so I took a day off, set my kids to where they needed to be. And that's when I bought my first lip sense. Was that day I was sitting on my couch in glory. I'm watching my shows, and I bought a lip sense. And the girl that I started under, Diane, she went to college with me. And I remember having this like very nice corporate job. And every 5 seconds I was seeing her on Facebook, rubbing her hands back and forth on her lips. And I was like, what is going on? So I was super intrigued. So I remember going that day, and that when I first trialed it out, I went to Target at like 7 a.m. or whenever it opened. So maybe I drank my coffee first, went to Target, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to really test this out. And he like stayed on. I was like, oh my God. So then she started advertising for the skincare class that Katie was talking about. And I was right at that point where my boys, it was COVID was just done, and my boys were getting a little bit older, and I would look in the mirror and my skin was just didn't look good. It was dull. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, I like legitimately need help. So when I took that class, I realized very quickly after that, like, I need an adult skincare game. I thought the products were so amazing that I, in 1 million years to this day, never thought I would sell a thing in my life.
Me neither.
And
Nope.
plunged straight in and was like, I gotta tell everybody about this because this is like the hidden gem. So that's how I got started, Katie.
Well, I appreciate it. And you know, it's so funny because even knowing, so the name is SeneGence, right? And I don't know if you know this, Michaela, which you know, again, I've been into it for how long now. And on the back of the beauty book, which this is an older one, but it
Oh,
basically says what's in the name SeneGence. And I never really put it together. And so SeneSense, which is the first part, it's an actual word. I had to look it up on a dictionary because I'm like, is it an actual word? So senescence is process of aging or breaking down, right? So that's the senescence part.
okay.
Plus intelligence, right? So the gens part of SeneGence is capacity to acquire and apply knowledge. So if you put that together, the senescence, so sena, and intelligence, gens, we get SeneGence, and it's long-lasting and anti-aging products that work, which I think that like the name itself, it does. It really shows, okay, our skin is breaking down, you know, from age 20 and on, which I still feel like I should be 20, but really, you know, creeping on that 40 over 35 club. But it is really true. The products really work. The name I never heard of it before, Michaela. I don't wear lipstick. I really didn't wear makeup. So look at me today. I have lipstick on. I love the lipstick. I would have laughed if you said, "Oh, you own 20 different colors, 30 different colors of lipstick," and I would just laugh in your face. I'd be like, "Yeah, no." So the name itself, I think, just kind of speaks volumes. But one thing I do want to talk about, Michaela, because this was one of the things that kind of blew me away from one of your lives and even some of the seminars that we've talked about is where SeneGence, like where the ingredients came from and where our CEO actually started kind of this company with these wonderful products. So could you kind of talk about, because like I said, you communicated it so well last time, but talking about kind of those orchids and where they came from and how it kind of all came about.
Yeah, no. And so SeneGence, the ingredients to their products, a lot of them are just like purely plant-based. And so they own like an island of Vanuatu. And on that island, there were all these volcanoes erupting. But outside of the volcanoes erupting, what was really interesting about it is there were these orchids growing everywhere. And people were like, "Oh, we're orchids like growing in this area where we have this volcanic ash everywhere." So what they noticed is that those orchids, it was like magic. So they started putting it into all of their skincare. So that's why if you use our facial resurfacer, it's that black volcanic ash. It's literally from that island. So they source their ingredients from there, but all of their products are manufactured in the United States. And so when I first started, they were in California, and then they migrated their headquarters to Tulsa. So Tulsa is where they reside today. That's where, like, when you call their customer service and where all their products are shipping out from that are delivering to you, they're coming directly from Tulsa.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. So
Hmm.
let's see. I
Yeah.
always learn. You're just
Yeah.
a wealth of knowledge. Hi, Amy
Sure.
Parker. She's watching.
Hi, Amy.
No, and that kind of bleeds into kind of why we're such a niche, like as far as our company is concerned, because there's Beauty Counter, there's Nerium, there's all kinds of different anti-aging and just even skincare products. And what really sold me on it is that like I really have tried in my life. I've tried is to go to kind of the non-toxic route just because I have a son that is super sensitive to everything. And I think, a lot of the things that were bothering him was the chemicals and the toxins. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't gotten rid of everything because I don't think that that's realistic. So I really do try. And I think what really kind of hits home with SeneGence is just the purity of their products, which we just learned on our last conference that they hit European standards, not even just US standards. So, we have the Seneplex complex, which is what is our patent anti-aging ingredient that no one else has. So while other people, other companies have retinol, they have kind of that hydrating serums and such, they don't have that Seneplex complex. And we have a bunch of videos that we can explain and show. But I think that's really what sets us apart. They're clean ingredients that work and have proprietary ingredients for the anti-aging. So I think that they are absolutely wonderful. And that kind of gets into my next question, Michaela, because this was another takeaway that I had from yours, because I think it was actually two small businesses. It was your friend and you. She owns kind of that One Hope with the wine. And then
Oh,
you had
yeah.
SeneGence, and you guys were talking about, what makes small business so interesting and, why get something on the internet, right? And I think your explanation of how unique it is really helped me kind of say, oh, this is kind of a neat product and this is something that I can't get anywhere else. So can you kind of talk about what
Yeah.
you think as far as small business and why you went with SeneGence, right? And why couldn't you just go to Target or some of the other skincare products that are kind of in this social marketing?
Yeah. So a couple of things. I mean, there's a distributor that works for SeneGence, and she's probably one of the top three in the company. And she always has this quote, like, if you want big girl skincare and makeup, you have to spend big girl money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. When you go to any store, when you go to buy from anything from the clothes behind me, you want a nicer quality jacket, you can go buy one for $10 at Target, or you can go buy a North Face, and you're going to be sitting at a game for your kids, and which one's going to be warmer?
Right.
Like, things cost money for a reason. It's the ingredients within it, and it's doing something extra. I think a lot of times what we do is we skimp on ourselves as females
Yeah.
first. And we go, well, you know, I'll just go buy this at Target. This lotion's $5. Why am I going to go spend $40 at SeneGence? I've done it my whole life. And what I've noticed is I've tried like 10 of those lotions and none of them actually work.
Right.
And I don't have time for that anymore. Like I'm at a point in my life where, and I think you're at the same point, Katie, like I don't have time for things to not work anymore. Like
Right.
life is too busy and we work hard. So, you know, that's something. But I think there's a misconception on just generally shopping. I remember my dad telling me when I first started, he's like, why wouldn't you do this? He was like, why wouldn't your friends and your family and people that you know buy from you versus Amazon, big powerhouse, or Target, or one of those areas? Like you're supporting and you're giving back to one of your own that's starting something, that's putting in time and effort. And, you know, I think with direct sales, it has a really terrible connotation. I mean,
does.
all of us have thought of that, right?
Yeah.
But direct sales to me is where the hidden gems are. There are products that you can't get anywhere else, but in some of the direct sales companies. And like, if we wouldn't have tried SeneGence, like that, back to your previous statement, yes, the ingredients are clean. Yes, they are, you know, sourced from around the world. But most of the other products that are in the same price range, they just don't work.
Yeah.
Like plain and simple, they don't work. They don't say what they're supposed to do. So I think it's very important to support small businesses. These are a lot of you know, moms or working parents or people trying to make extra money.
Right.
I didn't really do it for those reasons. I did mine more because I think for professional growth. I think a lot of times, especially when you're in a smaller company, you're trapped in one role. Or it's like if you played a sport in your life and you had just enough people to play the game and you really wanted to try another position, but you couldn't because you didn't have anybody to backfill you. That was why I did it. It was to learn, but on products that I 100% stand by.
I think that's a great point too, is that like if I'm not great at makeup, or at least I wasn't before SeneGence, right? I kind of just did what I thought, what I could do. And I have, you know, I have smaller eyes, I have smaller features, and I really never knew how to do makeup. And what I absolutely love about SeneGence is that they teach you, right? So like I know what's going into the ingredients. I know how to apply the products, which at first they were kind of scary because they were new, right? Cream based, and now you see it everywhere. Like especially those in 30s, 40s and above, like cream based is the way to go for our skin. So I felt comfortable making that leap because I knew that I trusted you as a friend. I knew you wouldn't sell me something that is BS, let's be honest. So I knew that I could spend my money and I'm not just getting crap. And then I could try them too, which was for me with sensitive skin. Like I would just buy these products. They were a little bit more expensive and then they sat underneath my counter. And now like I literally am like, oh, do I have backup of that? Because I'm running out. Like I never have just stuff sitting, and I'm sure you know too. But I think that that's another thing is like I love to learn. I think it's so interesting, and there's so many different personalities and people and just that love these products. And I think that's another thing is that it just, you could tell people aren't just selling this stuff because like you said they need money, and that really wasn't me either. Like I wasn't just selling this because I needed extra money. It was I really really like the products and I stand behind them, and I've never been a saleswoman ever, not even never in my life, never. I'm an accountant, for God's sakes. So you know, it's just one of those things. So I truly believed in it, and I was like, wow, I know I want to continue using these products, so let's do it. So and I think that kind of gets into the next point is that, you know, our skincare works hand in hand with all the products and our makeup too. So can you kind of talk about, because I learned that a lot of this from you is kind of, you know, you have to have your phrase, I need your quote, but about your skin being a certain number. But basically, could you talk to us
Yeah.
about how skincare and the makeup and why it's kind of meant to work together?
Yeah. So there's a quote that Katie's referring to that like your makeup can't be a 10 if your skincare is a 2. So how well your skin is taken care of underneath is how well your makeup is going to apply on top of it. So if you have super dry skin like you did, Katie, in the beginning, that's why like when you went to go put your makeup on it, you were trying to hide a problem that was underneath, right?
You're right.
And when you were going to put your makeup on, it was like crumbling or like,
It was.
you know, just
It
didn't
was
look good. Whereas
awful.
like I had oily skin, and normally when you go to like a drugstore, you just go and buy a cleanser. But when you're not educated, you don't realize that the cleanser is based off of your skin type. So
Right.
some of those can dry your skin out more. Some of those can do other things that just disrupt everything. My skin was oily, so my makeup never stood on. So when you take, sorry, my phone was like falling down. When you take really good care of your skin, that makeup that goes on top of it is so impactful. And what's nice about our makeup is that like a lot of them, like I'm just gonna grab whatever. A lot of them are creams that set to a powder. And why that's so important is our makeup actually has our anti-aging patent in it. So it is skincare in your makeup. So when you're doing your eyeshadow, when you're doing your blush, when you're doing your foundation, etc., all of the makeup that you're putting on top of our skincare products actually has our beautiful patent skincare in it. So you're double dipping. So if you're having crepey eyelids, for example, and you're targeting your eyes and then you're wearing the shadows that's on top of it, it's like all day long you're getting those anti-aging like goodness on your face. So you're essentially, as the clock, you're aging backwards. So there's a picture, and I think like one of the most statement pictures that I've seen across all distributors is when they started, and then 3, 4, 5 years later. And if you didn't know that what the year was underneath their photos, you would have actually reversed the pictures. And it wasn't one distributor, it was 100 distributors. It was over and over and over again. And there's a picture, Katie, like I'm sure like when you started, like I have one picture that stands out to me. It was during 2020 COVID. They did this front porch thing in Pittsburgh area where like you sat on your front porch and the photographers went around. They took a picture of your family, and I just remember looking at my eyes and being like, "Oh my God, I look like I'm squinting. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on here?"
Right.
And that picture stunned me. And like, if I take that picture now and I put it at the time, God, how old was I? He was 36. I'll be 39 this August. When I put the picture, 39 next to it, I look better at 39 than I did at 36. Like, it's just incredible how these products work.
No, I completely agree. And even looking at my makeup, yeah, like even 5 years ago, it's just it's quite. I enjoy putting makeup on now. Like I find an excuse to put it on because I like it and I have fun mixing the colors and just everything. And I think it just speaks volumes because I like you said, that's a great thought is that we are wearing makeup to cover up problems. But in reality, like I love the way they look. I love the way to kind of like play with your face as far as contour and blush and everything. So I have fun with it. It's not because I have to. And even with my skincare, I've had quite a journey with eczema and hormonal acne and skin. I had allergies from dairy and gluten. And so kind of getting to that root cause and having SeneGence to help me fix that. And let me even give an example. I finally found out that I had eczema when I was younger, and I've been having all these skin issues, and I was trying to get down to the bottom of it. And I finally went to the dermatologist, and they're like, "Yeah, you have eczema," and I have them actually really bad on my eyes. And so I'm taking this cream to help me with my eczema, and I noticed that it's starting to clear it up, but I still had all the flaky, dry skin, and I'm like, I know exactly what I'm going to use. I used just a little bit of our resurfacer, and Michaela, it literally the next day you couldn't even tell. And it's like I can't imagine not having these products because I feel like we have a solution for almost everything. And so I
Yes.
really don't know what I would do without it, So it's kind of crazy.
No, I totally agree with you. I think we have a solution for everything. I have 2 wish list items. We definitely need that lip balm with SPF in it for like summer. Like if you don't feel like putting lip scents on, I'm so sorry, I have a visitor. And then we need a shaving cream.
Oh, hi,
Small
buddy.
one.
Are you getting ready to go to bed?
Soon. Go out there, okay? Okay, thanks. Starting to put a shirt on. He's
We'll
my
wrap
one
this up,
that's
but
one of a kind.
he's so cute. But no, Michaela, I really appreciate it. Like I said, I mean, this just because we have so many new people and they're probably walking into my page like, oh my gosh, what is this lady posting? Why is Katie Hollings doing this? What is she doing? So I think that I just needed kind of a revamp of what is SeneGence? Why do I love it? Why do you love it? You taught me about it. All of our friends and family love it. And so I really do hope that, that someone takes something away from this. We have, hopefully we'll put together a skincare class. It's been a while and we've just had a seminar, so we have a bunch of new products, and I think that's really cool too, Michaela, is I don't feel like we ever stay stagnant. Like SeneGence really does a great job of finding new products. They started off as lip sense, like you said, and it was what, 20 years ago when they started?
Yeah, I think it's about 22 or 23 now.
So
yeah,
it's been around.
Yeah, they definitely, I think they do a really good job of being competitive in the market. Always, in my opinion, going one notch ahead. And like, I always explain the company as a really good CD. Like when you find a CD that if there's 15 songs on it and you like all 15, you're like, that's amazing, right? And I think SeneGence, like what we talked about here in the last 20 minutes, you didn't even hit 17 things that are like on the top of my head of what I love about this company. Like if you post that one graphic that kind of goes into like every little bullet point as to why this company is, in our opinions, different. I think it's very hard in the beauty industry to really kind of stand out. There's thousands, but when you hear one of your friends or your family members really talking it up and you're like, okay, if they're sold on it, like, let me try. I think that's half the battle, is just trying.
I completely agree. And the money is worth it. Cause like we talked about, like I'm very stingy with myself. Like I don't like to spend money on myself. I overanalyze everything. Like, oh, I really want that shirt. Am I ever gonna wear it? Should I wear it? What's gonna look good with it? Should I spend that money? Is it worth the money? So like, and you probably are a testament to this as far as me even buying from you when I first started. I was like, I don't know, Michaela. I don't know if I can spend that money. It's a lot. I don't know if I can do it. And you're like, okay, well, just try it. Just why don't you just try this? And that's what I think is really nice too, is that it is really customizable to anybody. You don't have to spend $200, right? Even if you want to just work on your lips, it could be $25. Like, and there's no, let's say, pressure, right? Like I never felt pressure, and that's what I hope to come across even to the ladies, in this group, is there's never any pressure to buy anything, and I truly want to help and say, what is the best method for you within a budget, within your constraints. So to me, it's just a great option, and we can customize it for whatever you need. So hi, Nina, and
no,
hi, man.
I agree with that, Katie. I think that you can start out small. You could always layer in more, but the products really last very long.
Yes.
And I think I mean, it sounds cheesy, but like truly, when you feel better about yourself, it speaks volumes in your entire life, from your professional life, if you're working, to your home life. When you feel better about yourself, you want to get up, you want to get ready, back to your previous statement, you want to put your makeup on.
Yeah.
When you're in a funk, it's like, and I don't know, like I'm going through this point. I don't know if it's like that, like 40 age where things are changing. And I'm like, you know what? All these clothes in my closet, I'm wearing what I want. Like, I'm done wearing my sweatpants. Like I'm gonna have from like 80, 90, hopefully in that time frame, I'll wear my sweatpants. Yeah. I'm not wearing my sweatpants right now. I'm done with that. So like I'll wear them to bed. I'll wear them when I'm done with the end of the day. But like during the day, I like want to look more presentable. And like it was embarrassing when you're getting on a Zoom call and you don't look presentable. Like you go on camera, like I am right now, and I apologize. I just didn't feel like taking my makeup off. And
you look no. I think it's a testament to what you look like without makeup. Like your skin looks absolutely beautiful. So no.
But like thank you. But you go on Zoom and you're like, I have a professional job, and look at me right now. What the heck am I doing? And there's still days where I put on a nice shirt and wear my black yoga pants, and you can always see from here up. But I'm trying to have my hair done. I'm trying to have my skincare and my makeup done. It's trying to put forth the effort.
Exactly.
And it's hard. You can't do it every day. But I think in close, like this is a company that you have two people on this phone or this live video that, one, I never posted on Facebook, two, never sold a thing in my life, never even thought in 1 million years. And I think the educational piece has really kept me going and kept you going, Katie. Like, it's where you're constantly learning, and it's stuff that's like intriguing,
It is.
you know? So if you guys have questions, I mean, don't hesitate to reach out. We don't know all the answers, but I feel like we have a really good network behind the scenes that we can find out most questions, the answers to them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Michaela. Get those cute little boys to bed. But I really appreciate your time. And ladies, if you have any questions, feel free to post any in the comments. And Michaela and I can definitely help answer it. So have a great Sunday and talk to you all soon.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.